Hello. Thank you very much for all the viewers who have watched my first and second video, and the response has been quite great. I thank you all for subscribing and also for hitting the bell notification and liking and sharing my videos. Today I would like to bring to your notice and discuss on something very important, and that is, as a prominent tutor, something that I have experienced for the last 2 decades in the field of teaching. I have noticed so many parents come to me from almost all international schools in this country and complaining to me that they are not teaching properly in the school. So I always ask them, why is it that they don't have the backbone to go and complain about it to the school? Because these parents don't have even the simple common sense to know and understand that telling us outsiders of a school's problem is of no use. If they have a problem, they should have the guts and the courage to go and talk about it and complain it to the relevant authorities or relevant parties. Instead, they always come crying and telling all the stories about schools not teaching and all the problems that their children are facing in education. So I would like to tell these parents to please stop complaining to us tutors about their child's school not doing their job. If they are not doing their job, for heaven's sake, go to the school and tell it to them directly, because it's not going to solve the problem by telling us. But yet I thought I should expose this to the whole world, because this is a very serious problem in this present context. Also, what I have noticed, that students get to realize of the importance and the seriousness of a real paper only when they are exposed to it towards the latter part of their education. In a sense, most students by most international schools are exposed to real past papers only, say, like 6 or 9 months before the real exam, which actually does not give enough time even for a tutor to coach. Because when these children happen to be exposed to a real paper only, they begin to realize that they cannot do the paper, or basically they are not being prepared by the school to sit for these papers. So when they come to us at the latter stages, actually there is nothing we can do. So most international schools nowadays do not have good teachers for most subjects, and most of your children are in real trouble. And I also like to inform parents that when these past papers are exposed and when these children come to tutors like us, they need to know that each subject needs at least 2 years of study time, and trying to just scrape through exams and try shortcuts is not going to work, because each of these subjects demand not only subject knowledge but also paper discipline and exam tips and how well to answer questions appropriately to the requirement of the examiner, bearing in mind so many areas that have to be taught to them to focus on answer precision to be able to get or obtain a full score for each question, if the child is to focus and obtain a guaranteed A grade or an A-star grade. So therefore, I have to tell something that's very important. Any British examination requires a minimum of 2 years study time if the child is to obtain an A-star grade. And coming to professional tutors like me is not going to work last moment. I always, for the last 2 decades, have, even today, I had calls for this coming May examination, which is actually about 12 weeks ahead. There is nothing we can do in a situation like that. So most parents in a situation like that talk to me and insist on revision. How can I do any revision when the child lacks basics? I have taken such children hoping to rescue them and try to help them to get through. But when I start teaching these children, and also the feedbacks from all my colleagues who are professional, prominent tutors in this country as well as overseas, have told me that when they take students at later stages, they lack basic knowledge on the subject, and we, according to our conscience, we cannot move forward in teaching that child without ensuring that the child knows the basics, because anything that we teach or explain, the child does not understand, and this the parents just don't understand. They think that a subject can be just taught to a child overnight and the child will process information. It's not. There are so many components that have to be covered in a subject for a child to be able to even be guaranteed for minimum a B grade. So most parents and students do not know the facts about these exams, the subject contents as well as the assessment objectives and the marking methodologies on each of these subjects. So the worst thing is that even when we prominent tutors tell them this, they seriously don't take it into their mind. They just, even the child doesn't take it seriously. So only until they come to the latter part of the examination and realize that it's too late, and most of the good tutors will never ever accept classes the last moment. So thank you very much for viewing my third video. Please don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel, as well as please ensure that you hit the bell notification and like it, and please share it. Have a good day. Thank you.